Welcome back, everybody. We made it to another week. How was Valentine's Day? Yeah? All right. So we're on week 21, February 15th to the 19th. Now, new semester, module 3, topic 1. We're actually going to be on page M382 this week. So hopefully you picked up your book. Remember, all you got to do is go in by the flagpole, go into the main office, and you can just sign out a textbook if you haven't done that yet. All right. So before we get started, let's recap. Triangles, similarity, right? Just like our phone. Make a picture bigger, make it smaller, scale factor, proportions, and now we're trying to make sure that we understand certain rules, so if we only know a couple of things, we can say whether they're similar. All right. One of them was the angle rule. Okay? So we just did angle rule, side rule, and last week with some of our real world problems, side, angle, side. Okay? This week's real world problem is going to involve a mirror. Okay? But before we do all that, we got to do our shout outs because we got some folks that are just crushing this semester. So with our shout outs for the week, let's get started with Mathia. In period 4, Isabel Bennett, Keaton Blankenagel, Alexis Brandt, Courtney Brown, Emma Contois, Claire Darlin, Gabe Giroux, Nathan Hansen, Hunter Lawson, Mikkel McLeod, Colin McBride, Reliance Morgan, Quinn Moses, Jackson Knoll, Cam Odell, and Kayla Shearer. In period 5, Kristen Barnett, Kylie Heiner, Hannah Lee, Arthur Lucan, Devin Martin, Sarah Altman, and Serenity Sebasta. Now what's cool about those folks is, remember, this semester we're pushing ourselves to try to do 2 sessions of 20 minutes or 1 long session. All those folks crushed it and spent the extra time. Thank you for your work on Mathia. Then our extra shout outs are for those folks that helped out during class. Okay, we're putting stuff in the chat, we're bringing real world examples to the room, and we're slowing the class down so that we make sure that we understand these new concepts. Okay, and here we go in period 4, Isabel Bennett, Alexis Brandt, Claire Darlin, Gabe Giroux, Nathan Hansen, Colin McBride, Reliance Morgan, Jackson Noel, and Cam Odell. Period 5, Kristen Barnett, Spencer Deerdorf, Maya Eckel, Alyssa Granados, Carter Harris, Kylie Heiner, Arthur Lucan, Devin Martin, Jackson Rookty, Serenity Sebasta, and Teddy Watson. Those are our shout outs for the week, and I want to thank you because that's what makes our virtual classroom so much more exciting, when you tell others what you're thinking. All right. Awesome. Okay, this week we need to look at a different way to use these rules. Okay? In a second here, I'm going to actually show you one of them. So last week, direct measurement. Okay? Remember triangle and a triangle. Locate myself, locate the shadow, make the yellow triangle bigger, and we can actually calculate similar triangles and the height of something that's super huge where we don't have a measuring tape for it. This week, it's called indirect measurement. I hope that you try to find something to measure with. Look around the house. See if you have a mirror, okay? Little mirror off the wall, right? Mirror off the wall. Little hand mirror, right? If you have those items, you can actually locate your shadow, the mirror reflection, your height. Look into the mirror, and the reflection off the mirror creates one of these rules. That's what we're going to discuss on Tuesday. Okay? So, try to do this example. I'll be back with you in a second where I show you an actual real world example and the calculations using proportions. See you in a minute. Welcome back. Now, this room is barely big enough for us to do this real world example, and it's called indirect measurement. Okay, so look around, find some stuff to measure with, measuring tape, yardstick, rulers, right? Mirror. See if you have some sort of handheld mirror that you can use. Now you can barely see up in the corner, there's a red bucket. Okay, that's one of our Christmas decorations buckets. It's called snowmen. There's snowmen in there. I want to know how high that is, but not by measuring it, by using one of these rules. The angle-angle rule, side-side-side rule, or the side-angle-side rule. Serious. Okay, so here's what we do. Grab your handheld mirror, locate it somewhere on the floor. Okay? I'm going to put mine right there. Now, I got a measuring tape that measures the center. Now remember, when you're doing this, you want to find that object in the center. Otherwise, you'll be off a couple inches, right? Okay. So I got it in the center of the mirror, and I got a measuring tape over to here to build our triangle with. Okay? Then I've got another measuring tape from here back. If you only have one measuring tape, that's okay. Just put a piece of tape on the floor once you locate that spot, okay? And I've got some tape that we can use. All right, so now if I stand here and I go back and forth, I want to look down onto the mirror. Look down onto the mirror, okay? Got it. And I can see the top of the red bucket, okay? Now here comes the hard part. My eyeballs, I need to know the height of my eyeballs, looking down into the mirror, and I need to be able to go straight down. I need to create that 90 degree, okay? So as I do that, boom, I got a measure right there. So I'm going to mark that measure. I'm going to mark this measure. In case you only have one measuring tape, just mark those two spots. We need to know the height of our eyeball. Now, if you remember last week in the triangle and a triangle, the top of my head is 6 feet, but my eyeballs aren't, okay? Like 3 or 4 inches less, right? Okay, if you have a measuring tape, you can just hang it on the wall and get that measurement, okay? So, hopefully that makes sense. We're creating an angle of reflection off the mirror, then it bounces off and it goes up to the box on the shelf. Cool? See if you can find your real world example using a mirror and indirect measurement for this week's math lesson. All right? So, come right back and we're going to actually do the math for this problem. See you in a minute. Okay, thanks for coming closer. Let's actually do the math for this problem, okay? All right, so you had some sort of a mirror and you found a location. So I got the mirror and I move back and forth until I can see the object. You can actually do this if you live near Shadle Park. Take this mirror to Shadle Park and you have the water tower, you can actually do this problem. It'll work. Okay, so now if I measure from the mirror to where my eyeball, you've got to make sure that, because you could be off a little bit depending on how you stand. All right, so this triangle turns out to be 40 inches, and my eyes, this is 6 feet, so that's 72, and I drop it down a couple inches, I got 70, okay? So my eyes are 70 inches. Now, I created a new triangle. The new triangle is from the center of the mirror over. Okay. From the center of the mirror over 70 inches, and then it goes up to our box and back down. Okay? And how high is the box is the question. Okay? How high is the box? All right. So, got our box, we got my eyes, and we have a new triangle, and it's called indirect measure. Now, here's the key. I want you to experiment as you move back and forth looking down at the mirror. Something cool happens right here. I need you to discover that these angles, the incoming angle, the outgoing angle, the closer I get, the bigger the angle, but the outgoing, they're equal. Serious. These two angles are equal. So now I've got angle from each one. All right. When we come to class, I want you to be able to say, I understand why indirect measure works because of the angle rule. When I was standing over here, I created a 90-degree angle. Serious, isn't that cool? Hey, let's do the math real quick. 70, 40, something 70. Let's just keep it simple. I'm going to go this direction. So I've got x over 70
I didn't get that.
equals...
Could you try again?
Whoop. Alexa's talking to me. 70 over 40. Okay? Is that Alexa or is that Siri? There's another question for you. Okay? Cross multiply. Okay? And we'll have 40x equals 4,900. 70 times 70, right? Now remember, we need that math skill all year. Okay? What's the opposite of multiply? Divide both sides by 40. And we're going to get x equals 4,900 over 40, which turns out to be what? What's 4,900 divided by 40? Anybody know? Anybody? Let's try it. 4,900 divided by 40, 122. Let's go check the measuring tape. $115. So we got 122. Actual 115 inches. Not bad using indirect measure. All right, so that's going to be the basis for Tuesday's lesson, is you looking at real world math. See you Tuesday.